There. Don't be afraid. I won't hurt you. Please, come a little closer. I'm afraid my eyesight isn't what it used to be.
I didn't mean to startle you.
Why are you here?
I come to seek sanctuary.
From what, my son?
From the end of the world.
I'm afraid you might have a very long wait.
Not as long as you might realize.
People have been talking about the end of the world since the beginning of time. And still, mankind survives.
I'm not one of those people who wander up and down the street wearing a sandwich board and ringing a bell, if that's what you're implying. I just stopped to take a rest. I'll be on my way now. Thanks for the hospitality.
Please, don't go. You won't get very far in your condition. It's over a mile before you get to town.
I'll manage.
Please, stay. I didn't mean to upset you.
Beautiful, isn't it?
God's house is your house.
The way the stars flicker over the hills.
It's much too late to catch a ride.
Far from the coldness and steel of the city.
And that leg of yours
Something
will
we
probably
somehow always
collapse
take
before
for
you get
granted.
halfway
Don't you think
there.
so?
But I guess I never really thought of it.
For granted. It's funny how we never really appreciate anything until it's taken away from us.
Someone special? A girlfriend? I could try and contact her if you'd like.
It's no use. No one will answer.
Did she leave you?
Listen, I've got to be going, Father. I don't want to involve you in anything.
I only want to help.
No one can help me.
God can help.
God. What has God ever done for me? Where was God when they took Susie away from me? Where was God when they beat those helpless people?
He was there.
They cried out for help, but I couldn't help them. I could just stand in the shadows and watch, but there wasn't anything I could do to help.
Who are these people? What are you involved in?
Who are you? Why should you even listen to what I have to say?
I'm the pastor of this church, Father Francis Moriarty, and it's my business to listen to people, no matter what the hour. As the bishop says, if you can't trust your local priest, who can you trust?
I'm sorry. I guess I'm just suspicious of people right now. If you've been through what I've been through, I'm Alec Holmes.
Here, sit down. Let me take a look at that. Nothing seems to be broken. You sprained it rather badly, though. And your head? You might even need a doctor.
I'm all right.
How did this happen? And who are those people you were talking about?
Have you ever heard of the artificial intelligence factory?
You mean that large place about a mile from here with the fence and the guards around it?
Do you know what they do up there?
I suppose they make home computers, that sort of thing. Why?
What if I told you they've evolved far from the home computer stage? That they've evolved into a stage of artificial intelligence that is so advanced that it can actually teach itself basic to advanced programs.
I'm afraid I don't know very much about the advancement of computers nowadays.
This computer could stand this far away from you and you couldn't tell it apart from anyone else in the room.
I don't understand.
You could shake his hand and feel the warmth and realistic texture of his skin, just like yours and mine.
What are you getting at? A robot? An android?
Those are such cold, unfeeling words. The word artificial intelligence is much more appropriate. They can think, they can feel. I see you're not very convinced.
Can you blame me? You come in here in the middle of the night looking as if you've been in some sort of an accident, reeling off a science fiction story. What do you expect of me, Alec?
I'm not in the habit of lying to people, especially priests.
All I see is an exhausted, confused man, looking as if he's been under some enormous stress which he's had to get away from.
So you're saying this is all in my head, brought on by stress?
Well, you don't look like the lying type to me. You really have nothing to gain by it, so
So you figure that Alec has lost grasp of reality? Completely insane, so to speak.
Now, I did not say that. All I said was that you were tired, that you needed some sleep. Look at yourself. You said you came in here to rest when you came in, remember?
I'm not having delusions. I'm in complete control of myself. Can't you see that?
Assuming your story is true, just assuming, how do you know so much about it?
I work, or I used to work, for AIL. I was one of the main technicians who worked on the prototype for that artificial intelligence.
What do you mean, you used to work for the factory?
After my friend and partner, Dr. Frank Mitchell, and I came up with the basic development, Dr. Henry King, head of AIL, came in and took over the project and took him away from us.
Him?
Yes. We fashioned his likeness to that of a man, and since he was the first of his kind, we named him Adam.
Original.
We developed Adam after the von Neumann theories. Von Neumann was so revolutionary in his theories that he went far beyond the normal limits of the computer. He went to a stage of artificial intelligence that was so advanced it could think for itself and teach itself new things. Von Neumann's final step, before he died, was to put this artificial brain into a functioning body so it could move about and perform certain tasks. His main idea was to come up with an intelligence that was capable of reproducing other, often smarter intelligences. And that was my job at AIL. To work with the basic prototype and to teach it to perform certain tasks at first, then to reproduce itself so that others could take the positions that humans normally hold in order for them to be self-sufficient.
So what AIL is doing is putting this von Neumann's theories into reality.
Exactly.
Well, if that's the case, such an invention could be an invaluable use to mankind. When is AIL going to market these robots for public use?
Please don't call them robots. They're artificial intelligences. Robot is an impersonal piece of metal.
Isn't that what they are?
Yes, at first, but after several months of testing, something began to happen. Frank and I began to see, in addition to the intelligence's actions, they began to develop emotions and feelings.
You mean human-like?
Not just human-like, but actual human emotions and feelings. They began to enjoy things. They began to feel happiness and pain. We don't know how they did it, but somehow they bypassed something and developed it into their programming. And they transfer it to new intelligences as we build them. You expecting visitors?
Not at this hour.
He must have just been passing by. He's gone now.
Why are you so worried? No one's chasing you, are they?
As a matter of fact, that's why I'm here.
Who's chasing you?
Tonight, I escaped from the lab.
Escaped?
Have you ever been in a prison, Father?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Then you know how a worker at AIL feels. Limited contact with the outside world. You don't even know what's going on in other departments. Security squads are always looking over your shoulder, making sure you're doing your own job.
Wouldn't they let you leave?
If you kept your nose out of the other people's business, it was fine to leave. Then I met Susie.
The girl in the locket.
After years of searching for someone, I had to find her in that stinking place. A place where you're not able to mix with other people in other departments. Well, there were some complaints at first, but they were soon forgotten. Until we began putting the pieces together.
Pieces? To what?
The pieces to a complex puzzle. A puzzle which Dr. King didn't want anyone to find the answer to. That's why he was so secretive about what was going on in other departments. He didn't want other people to see exactly what he was planning to do. It took a while, but Susie and I soon caught on to what he was planning.
Don't you see the building up of stress? Are you sure it's not that you're running from? It still sounds like science fiction to me.
To you, it may be science fiction, but to me it is a nightmare I can't seem to wake up from. And if somebody doesn't do something about it, the nightmare's going to spread to everybody around here. And then they won't be able to wake up either.
What do you mean, nightmare?
One night, Susie and I were in the F-wing section. That's the behavior modification section of the lab. And suddenly, we heard a screaming and the lights dimmed. We went down the hall, and when we got to that room, we saw Dr. King experimenting on several of the artificial intelligences. He had one of them strapped to a chair and was giving him shock treatment to test his tolerance to pain. Another he had strapped down, and he was beating with an electrical cattle prod, while the others watched helplessly, waiting for their turn. It was horrible to listen to their screams. We could just stand in the shadows and watch as they cried out in pain.
Why didn't you confront this Dr. King?
Because we figured we needed some proof before we could go to the police. So that night, Susie and I went to his office and we went through his files.
Didn't you find anything?
Unfortunately,
You didn't.
we did.
Then why do you act so stunned?
Because this is where the nightmare actually begins. We ran across a series of tapes, most of them about the prototype numbered 666 artificial intelligence. Until we came to this one. This tape tells of AIL's plans for mass production of the artificial intelligence.
Plans for mass production. Artificial Intelligence, series number 666. Production and development going smoothly in A and B plants. Another study done at small town 2 miles away from here. Subjects Jackson, Bailey, Thompson, Swope, Baker, and Trosper all ready for intelligence substitution. We'll proceed immediately. Objective? To infiltrate and take over town. Recent substitutions doing fine. No foreseeable problems at present.
It's a bad joke, Alec. I don't believe it.
You don't see me laughing, do you? We went to Dr. King with this tape. He laughed in our faces and told us to get out. He said that no one else would believe us, and if we told anybody, they'd laugh us out of town. The next morning, I found Susie missing. Supposedly shipped to another plant somewhere else in the world. I also found out that the security squads were looking for me. So I left a message with my partner Frank to meet me here tonight. And I made a break for it.
And that's how you got hurt.
Yes,
And why you mentioned sanctuary.
I needed a place to be safe. I figured this would be the best place. I used to go to a Catholic church when I was little.
Your story is so fantastic, Alec.
Please believe me, I'm telling you the truth.
I don't know what to believe.
Are you sure you're not expecting anybody?
No, not at this hour. Could it be Frank?
Well, whoever it is, they're just sitting out there like they're waiting for something.
Look, someone's getting out now.
It's Dr. King.
What's he doing here?
Somebody must have tipped him off. Do you have a back way out?
No, maybe you can talk to him.
No, if he finds out I'm here, you'll be in danger too. Do you have a place to hide?
In the confessional.
Please be careful what you tell him. He has a way of tripping people up.
Leave everything to me.
Hello, Father. My name is Dr. Henry King. I was just passing by when I thought I saw a friend of mine in the window.
A friend? I'm sorry, there's no one here but me.
Yes, I'm sure I saw him. Brown hair about average height, looking through this window here.
Candlelight was probably playing tricks on you. They've been known to do that.
Yes. Maybe that was it. A beautiful church you have here.
Thank you. Isn't it a little late to be passing by, Mr. King?
The doctor.
I beg your pardon?
Dr. King.
I'm sorry.
I'm basically a night person. I usually sleep through the day. Is it the same with you?
I was just coming in here to do some thinking. I often sit here for hours, thinking about life, my next sermon, that sort of thing. Not much else to do in a rural community.
Yes, I do so see your point. A very, very beautiful church you have here. Alec Holmes.
I beg your pardon?
Alec Holmes, my friend's name. Are you sure my friend Alec Holmes has never been by for a second?
Positive. I've been here all day. No one by that name has talked to me. I would recognize a stranger, don't you think?
Yes, I guess you would at that.
You'll be going then?
Yes, I don't see the need to stay longer.
Well, if anyone drops by that name, I'll tell him you were looking for him.
Yes, be sure to do that, would you?
My pleasure. Good night, Mr. King.
Doctor.
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. Good night, Dr. King. Alec?
Sorry to trouble you again, but I think I left my gloves here somewhere.
Are you certain?
A positive. I believe they're up there.
I'll go check. Here they are.
Thank you. Sorry to trouble you again.
Oh, that's quite all right.
What's this? It looks like some sort of locket.
Yes.
I believe I know this young lady. She's one of my employees, Susie Martin.
Is that so?
In fact, she's Alec Holmes' girlfriend. To Alec, Susie. What a strange coincidence. This belongs to my friend whom you said hasn't been here.
Here, I'll take this. I'll put it in the lost and found box. This could have been here for a couple of days, since last Sunday, as a matter of fact. Left here, like your glove.
Possibly. But I personally know that both Alec and Susie were at the lab last Sunday and every other Sunday. We keep a close eye on our employees. Where is he, Father?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why are you hiding him? What has he told you?
I'm not hiding anybody.
Father, let's not go around in circles. I want Alec home.
Well, he's not here. I think you'd better leave.
I'm warning you, priest. If he's told you anything about a little project, I might be forced to, let us say, keep you quiet.
Are you threatening me?
Take it as you wish. I will be back with some friends next time. Tell Alec he can't get away from me. And you better watch out yourself. If I find out you know anything you shouldn't know, we'll be coming after you next.
Alec, did you hear?
Yes.
He knows you're here. He'll be back with more men. You must get away while you can.
I can't go alone. You have to come with me. You heard what he said.
I can't. I've got to stay here. You'll have to go to the police by yourself.
You won't believe me. I need you to give credibility to my story. You believe me now, don't you?
Yes, I do. But I won't make any difference, Alec.
You have to come with me. The people out there must know what's going on.
God will be with you.
God. What has God ever done for me? God doesn't help people he doesn't care about.
Stop talking like that. God cares about everything and loves everything. It's time you realize that.
Well, then why doesn't he answer when I talk to him?
He always answers, Alec. It's just sometimes he answers with a no. That doesn't mean he doesn't care about you anymore. What about Susie? You were looking for someone, right?
Yes.
Then you can't say he doesn't care about you because he doesn't give you everything you ask for.
Well, does he care about The little things, too. The things that most people think are insignificant.
He cares and loves everything. Everything is loved by God, from a kitten to a plant. Nothing is forgotten by God.
So you don't need a soul to go to heaven.
Everything has a soul of its own. Nothing is forgotten by God. Everything counts.
So I count?
You, me, everything.
This may sound stupid to you, Father, but I've never thought of that before.
A great many people never realize that at all. And they go to their graves very bitter at God.
Well, then I ask you and God for help. You can't say no. I need you.
Everyone has their own needs and their own wants, Alec. Sometimes you have to face them by yourself. You can't always rely on other people to be there. Every man has his own cross to bear. You must face your doubts within yourself. Someone has to stay here to stall them. Otherwise, they'll catch you before you get halfway to town. Now go. I will be watched over. Have faith, Alec. Faith.
Thanks.
God be with you. They're here. In the confessional again. I'll stall them so you can slip out unnoticed. How's your leg?
I'll manage.
Wait. Your line.
No, I want you to keep it.
With your girlfriend.
I'll be back for it. Now you take care of it and yourself, okay?
Here. Then take this with you.
Can't.
Until you come back.
Where is he?
What is the meaning of this?
I told you I would be back. My men will be here momentarily. I thought I would come now in hopes of preventing a needless confrontation. This is such a pretty church. And my men are quite messy.
Do you have a search warrant?
Where is Alec Holmes?
I demand that you leave immediately.
You're in no position to demand anything. I would hate to see you get hurt.
This is God's house. Don't bring your violence in here.
Very sharp. One could accidentally stab himself if he wasn't careful. Violence can occur anywhere. You read about it every day in the newspapers. In an alley, in a person's home, even at church.
Get out.
I'm not a very patient man, priest.
I told you to leave.
I'm going to ask you one last time. Where is Alec Holmes? Don't turn your back on me. Don't turn your back on me. Where is he? Answer me. No one turns their back on me. No one.
No!
Oh my God.
It's all right.
Are you crazy?
There was no need to go this far.
Frank, where have you been? I've been waiting for you.
I just got your message. I rushed over here as soon as I could.
Alec?
Yes, it's all right. I'm here. Just hold on.
Alec? Remember, God is with you. Always. Always.
Hold on! Somebody help me get him up. We've got to get him to the hospital. Help me get him up.
It's
Just
too
help me
late,
get him
Alec.
up. We've got to get him up.
It's too late. It's too late.
Why did this have to happen? He was innocent. This man was innocent. He wasn't a man, Alec. What? He was a machine. What? A machine. What do you mean a machine? He was a man. A man just like you and me. More of a man than him. How can you stand there and tell me it was just a machine?
Look at him, Alec. Look at him. What do you see? What do you see? A machine, just metal and wires.
Are you ready to go, Alec?
And what are you going to do with me now? Kill me because I know too much?
Still don't understand, do you, Alec?
What are you talking about?
Don't you see?
What?
You're a machine, Alec. You're not living.
What?
You see, you must have damaged some of your components while you're working at the lab. We can have that fixed in no time. We'll reprogram you, and you'll be back to normal.
What?
Normal.
Normal?
Sure, Alec. Good as new. Now come. There's nothing more we can do here.
God loves me. Did you know that? Father says he does. He knows Frank, doesn't he? He knows, doesn't he?
Sure he does, Alec.
God cares about me. I know it, Frank. I just know it.
Sure he does, Alec. Sure he does.